Oh,
Well,
yeah,
good
got it.
morning, everyone, and welcome to Uncivil Law, where we learn through the misfortunes of others. As always, I hope you'll enjoy this morning's content. Today will be the day I earn your subscription. Joining us from the Koreas is our good friend, Andrew, the legal mindset, who will tell us how to have that proper focus, the proper mindset of a ninja. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Good. I can speak for one of the Koreas and zero ninjas. However, I can speak of a guy who does know how to keep focused, no matter how.
You can speak for one of the Koreas, so you're part of the one true Korea philosophy.
The one true Korea. Yes, yes. That is the exact right mindset there.
Okay.
But it's good to see everybody in the chat here. I mean, I see already we've got a good amount. We got at least like 20, 30 in the chat already.
Oh yeah, no, it's great. Now I have to alert you. I'm claiming proprietary interest in this law story because I'm just staking my ground in this story. I did my stream on it last night. It's the $500,000 NFT over Pepe the Frog's ass.
Oh my god. What? Okay, show this story.
No, it's just layers upon layers, and you think it gets more stupid or less stupid, and you just cannot fully appreciate the depths of the stupid. No, I will show you the NFT.
All of the Pepes.
Yes, I will show you. This is the meme minus the logo, which I have obviously added.
I was gonna say that's your proprietary part. Like you stamp Uncivil as a tramp stamp over his butt. That'd be great.
Oh no! Someone's already doing that. As for my NFT, someone's already doing that for my NFT because we are hardcore. We are hardcore. Do you want to see? Do you want to see the? You want to see the preview of the Uncivil Law NFT?
Let's see it.
It can't be unseen.
I'm ready. This will be burned in my mindset. That's it. Let's do it. Let me see it. Oh my lord! You cannot unsee that. That is unseeable. I like the. Oh, by the way, look at the little thing on a lily pad staring at it like with eyes wide open that are burned into its retina. Yeah, that's the part that gets me.
I do like the UL logo on my ass. That's
on the ass. Not that's not a tramp stamp. That's literally on the ass.
Yeah.
That'll make money.
I am selling this NFT for $500,000, or $530,084 to be precise, because that's how much the Pepe the Frog NFT cost somebody. $530,084. Someone spent on this NFT. Someone has to explain this to me in small, easy to understand words. I don't know if there's any words that will make it work. Well, so here's what happened apparently. All right, so the creator of this NFT created 500 of the same NFT. Then he burned 400 of them. And he said he'd keep the other 99 in holding indefinitely inside of, what was it called? Pegs DAO. PEGZ DAO. So DAO apparently is some sort of distributed organization, which I've never heard of as a recognized corporate form.
I'm eating here, sorry guys, but it's pretty much a digital corporation.
Yeah, but it's not like is that a legal way of doing business? Is that a legal corporate form?
Well, I mean, do governments recognize it? No, but can you set one up on the blockchain and abide by certain rules and regulations? Yeah, you can.
Yeah, but this raises all kinds of fun questions for the lawsuit, because among other entities, the DAO is also being sued, which means I now have to determine jurisdiction of the DAO, what their personal jurisdiction is, and I don't. It's
going to be so impossible. Like
this is not a bar exam question. This is way beyond bar exam. Let's determine what the legal place of residency of the DAO is. This is going to be
it's probably wherever the wallet is that holds the assets of the DAO. So like wherever the company is or the hosting service for that wallet. So if they're holding on like MetaMask or whatever else, it'll be where MetaMask is located.
It's all Ethereum, by the way. The Ethereum people are still getting to me. This whole thing was set up on Ethereum. So the Ethereum people are still grifting my channel.
There you go. They never stops. The grift never stops. Uncivil. You got to realize that.
Yes, but I'll do a discount. I'll sell this for $99,000, $99,999. So I'll give you a discount on the Uncivil Law NFT, and this is my new grift. I've decided.
NFTs are a strong grift, so I mean, you'd be out there with the best of them.
I've got 1,300 videos that I can sell tokens in. Would you like to buy one of my videos, an NFT, not the video itself, mind you, just the NFT of the video? You can have the NFT of the video. I'll hold on to it, but you'll have the NFT of it, and the NFT will be yours. This can be yours. Okay. I'll sell it to you for $10,000, Andrew, because you're my friend.
That's a no from me, but I think a lot of people in the chat here. I think you've got a lot of people that are willing to do it.
Yeah,
a lot of people.
So this is an actual lawsuit in actual court. So yeah, so I sort of interrupted myself. So they burned 400 of them. Said they sold the other 99. They did an auction of the one, which sold for $530,084. Mm-hmm. And then several days later, they gave away 46 of the remaining 99 and just gave them away for free. And so he's claiming breach of contract, fraud in the inducements, unjust enrichment, and a whole bunch of other related theories, which sound plausible to me. The theories sound plausible because if you, and the cause of action sounds plausible. Like, I honestly believe, based on these representations, this would be unique and impacted my value. To the extent that you knew that you were going to do this, you fraudulently induced me to believe the NFT had value. Now, this is the only part of the theory of the thing where things break down on me, because fraudulently induced you to believe it should have value implies that if I told you the real truth, a reasonable person would believe it should have value, right? It's only fraudulently inducement if I told you the truth and that would make a difference. If I tell you the truth and it doesn't make a difference, then it's not really fraudulent.
But it's the art of Pepe's ass. Like, you see it, like, you know what Pepe's ass is worth. And
do I though?
Zero. It's zero.
That's
like,
what I thought, but
also, like, but hold on though. Well, I understand that, but did you see the I gotta find this. Hold on. Because look, as much as people give NFT shit, Kurt, let's be real. Real art has been the center of money laundering, of all sorts of crimes, literally. There's millions.
At least with real art, there is actually a piece of art that's hanging on a wall or the equivalent somewhere. It might be in a warehouse, but at least there's an actual physical object somewhere that is in some sense unique, right? Because even if I could buy a print of the Mona Lisa, I could buy a really good quality print of the Mona Lisa. It wouldn't quite be the same as the original. There's something about the original that can't quite be duplicated, which isn't quite true for any digital asset. This, at least in my humble opinion, this is as good as the original because it's a digital asset, so it makes no difference.
No, it's not.
It's even improved since the original.
It's not the same thing.
It's improved because I've added a logo to it.
But it's not the same thing as the original, because you can track the original, and the original has value because it is the original, because you can go back and say, hey, this is the original. The date this was originated is before the uncivil tramp stamp version. Therefore, I assign more arbitrary value, because once again, Kurt, this is fucking all arbitrary. This is all monopoly money, right? This is all arbitrary. So I'm assigning some weird arbitrary value to this that doesn't belong. It's ridiculous. But I'm gonna assign that arbitrary value. I'm gonna post the private chat. You've got people literally buying Ukrainian flag NFTs for $6.75 million. I also saw a tweet that someone bought just a piece of art that was literally the Ukrainian flag for $4.5.
I'm going to start making some NFTs. I'm going to make some NFTs of Uncivil Law videos. I'm selling the NFTs. I don't know what it is I'm selling exactly, and I'm not sure exactly what it is that they're buying, but okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's nothing. It's literally they're buying the address. They're buying the fact that is the original. That's it.
I'll even do it fancier. Well, we can do it on the blockchain, but I can do better. Like I can go get like a professional calligrapher and do it on some really nice canvas maybe or something, and get a calligrapher to paint a really nice like warranty deed, this hereby represents your ownership in the Uncivil Law video entitled whatever, and put it on your wall. You have something to look at.
That's better than an NFT. That's live art. That's the real grift.
We're doing it wrong is all I'm saying, for sure. Whatever it is, we're absolutely doing it wrong.
Well,
someone spent 150 Ethereum on this, which was 500. Oh, and by the way, by the way,
that's current cost. I mean, like whenever that can zoom up,
Well, that was the cost of the time. It was 150 Ethereum, which apparently was $530,084. And my personal favorite aspect of the lawsuit is he's not claiming that the fact that 46 others were released into the wild for free devalued his NFT to zero. He's only claiming it devalued it to the tune of $30,000. So he still thinks it's worth $30,000 despite the other 46 free ones in existence. So he only wants to be compensated to the tune of $500,000, which is the difference between what he paid and his apparent current value in his head.
He's reasonable, Kurt. He's a reasonable man. Reasonable man standard.
None of these people are reasonable men in any possible sense. The reasonable man on the bus is not buying the Pepe NFT ass. These are unreasonable people.
Are you sure people do not want Pepe's ass? Because a lot of people would spread those cheeks and clap them for $500K.
I'm positing the theory the law may be too stupid to be protected by the law. That is the theory I'm working under right now. I'm willing to upset every other canon of law. I'm willing to upset the fraudulent inducement. I'm willing to upset the negligence. I'm willing to upset everything in the new exciting theory of the law. You are too stupid to be protected. Go away. How are you liking my new exciting theory of law? You are too dumb.
I like it.
We could even do the experiment for real. We'll go to some bus stops and we'll ask some people as they get off the bus. I'll sell you a digital token of this. How much do you think it's worth? And let's see what answers we get from the reasonable people on the bus.
Tree fitting.
If I don't get punched in the face, I'll be amazed.
You'd be surprised. A lot of people. There's actually I walked by here. There's literally an NFT viewing gallery, like 2 blocks from where I live. 2 blocks. We can go by, look at NFTs. Scroll through them and purchase them for way too much.
I got a good idea. You ready for this?
Yeah, let's do it.
We're gonna break bad, but instead of selling meth, we're selling NFTs of meth.
I like it.
Yes.
How about the NFTs of recipes?
Come after me, DEA. Come after me. I'm manufacturing NFTs of meth.
Kurt, could you get somebody for manufacturing an NFT of how to make meth?
No, because how to make meth is legal. I can tell you how to make meth. It's totally legal for me to do that. I can tell you how to make an explosive. I can tell you how to make the meth. I can give you step-by-step instructions. I can at least facsimilarly show it. I mean, I can't use the real actual chemicals, but I could, label the things, and I could actually teach you how to make meth or explosives or anything. It's totally legal. I can do that. Yeah, let's sell some NFTs of how to make meth. It's great. One of my favorite articles of all time that was written. It was written like Chemistry Today or something like that, which was just like basically a spoof thing. It says, getting decongestants like Sudafed can be really, really tricky because of all the regulations relating to it. But getting meth is actually easy because of the fact that, it's just available from any street corner. Now, taking meth will solve your decongestant problems. So it will solve the underlying problem you're trying to solve. It is an effective decongestant. Unfortunately, it comes with all kinds of nasty side effects. So the guy produced a chemistry article on how to produce pseudoephedrine from the meth.
From meth. Oh my God. How to distill it into.
So that you could have a more effective, less consequential decongestant. It might be one of my favorite articles of all time. How to produce pseudoephedrine from meth, step by step.
The other way around.
It's great.
The other way around.
Yeah. It was great.
And that's not illegal, all right? I mean, there's nothing illegal about that.
Well, the fact that you have to own and possess the meth to start with might be a problem, but the end product is legal.
But hold on. But if you understand the concept and the chemistry without owning the product, you can.
Oh yeah, well, teaching again. I could teach you how to make meth. I don't remember how to make meth. It's actually I have a slightly interesting story along these lines. When I was in my summer of my 1L, after my 1L, I got a position as an intern at the juvenile prosecutor's office in Summit County, Ohio. And so I was like an intake specialist and a bit of a research specialist and kind of like just kind of an adjunct help for whatever. And basically one of the first jobs I had was the juvenile prosecutor's office was prosecuting a kid who was running a meth lab. This was 2005, so this is well before Breaking Bad, right? So this is like some old school shit. But the kid was the one running the meth lab, and so one of the things the prosecutor's office wanted to do was try to, as part of their storytelling of the whole thing, was try to figure out how he figured out how to make meth, right? So it's like, we want you to figure out how he figured out how to make meth, so we might be able to tell a story, you know, when we're telling this case. I'm like, okay, right. So I got to spend the first like 3 days of my internship on a government computer, going into the dark corners of the web, Googling how to make meth. It was great. It was great. And I produced a little report for them. It's like, here's how to make the meth from various Usenet groups or whatever. And I'm like, this is the greatest job ever. I'm using a computer at the prosecutor's office to learn how to make meth. Here? This is great.
Like, I think this violates the internet policy, except for I was directed to do it. So,
yeah, I mean, it's fully legal, right? I mean, obviously it's legal because there's nothing illegal about looking up how to make meth. There's nothing illegal about having to get that knowledge. There's nothing illegal about owning the Anarchist Cookbook or the Army Field Manual or the Improvised Munitions Manual or any of these wonderful things, right? There's nothing illegal in and of themselves.
Well, there sort of is, though, because, I mean, don't they take down those articles, though? Or don't they have to exist in places where they won't take them down?
Well, I mean, they might try to take them down, but my mere ownership of them itself is not illegal, right? Unless you can somehow independently prove my intent to use them. It's like owning instructions on how to lockpick or owning instructions. You know, my mere knowledge is not illegal.
Well, owning a lockpick itself is not illegal.
Well, it actually depends where you are. Sometimes it gets a little bit tricky with burglar tools, but that's another story for another day.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I could just, that could be fun. I could just do law review. I could just do episodes. I don't think the YouTubes would approve. Maybe I'll put it on Rumbles or Locals. Just do entire episodes on.
Crypto will not, do not do it on YouTube.
I'll do it on Locals. I'll just do an entire episode. Uncivil Law teaches how to make meth. The DEA can bite me. Here's how to make the meth. Do this. I'm going
to buy my NFT.
Also buy my NFT.
Yep. It'll sell. It'll sell. I think it's a business plan. I think it's more profitable than YouTube.
Could be.
Here's how. I mean, why stop at meth? You know, here's how to print a 3D print a silencer. You know, here's how to
here's how to counterfeit money. The problem with counterfeiting the money, well, there's two principal problems. The biggest problem is getting the right paper, because it's 75% cotton, 25% linen, something like that. If memory serves, something like that.
Blend.
It actually has no paper, by the way.
Apparently other countries can't reproduce it because it's like a unique process.
Well, if you go to a paper company and you say, I want the 75% cotton, 25% linen blend, they're definitely going to let the Secret Service know about it. But yeah, getting the right paper is a challenge. It's the paper's produced by Crane. Did you know that? The company Crane?
I did not know that.
Well, there's a little factoid. I think they're the ones who make the paper for the US currency. And we could go through all the ways that you can detect counterfeiting. because there's a little flakes in it, little flakes in the paper. If you look at it, there's those little red and blue flakes in money. Have you ever really taken a look at money really up close?
Yeah. I mean, I don't have any American money on me right now. I traded that all in.
I was always a little bit interested in counterfeiting. This is one of the things when I was considering a law enforcement career, because there was a little period there in law school where the FBI was recruiting, because the FBI hires lawyers, and I have a computer science degree, which also makes me attractive for like the FBI. And so there was a little period there I was considering like potential law enforcement options. And I was kind of like the Postal Service and the postal inspectors and the Secret Service for the counterfeiting. The postal inspectors are great because their jurisdiction is the mail, which goes everywhere. So their jurisdiction is just like all the places, which is kind of badass. And I don't know, something about the counterfeiting, I don't know, just appeals to me. And sort of it's interesting somehow.
Yeah, I mean, I like the what was that movie, Catch Me If You Can? It's a good movie.
Yeah, I've seen parts of it. I haven't seen the whole movie with the counterfeiting the checks.
Yeah. I mean, to be able to pass it off, especially like a document, like for example, anyone that's built that's put out by Crane, because I think they also do passports. Like to be able to actually counterfeit that successfully and have it pass, that's an accomplishment. I mean, shit, George Floyd couldn't do it. Too early for that? Too early for that joke? Is that too early? Is it all right? Can we do that joke? Is that all right?
Yeah. The biggest thing if you want to counterfeit paper though is you have to use it without the iodine in it, because that's what the pens use, right? So if you go to like anywhere they have those pens, they mark the paper. Those, I think, because they detect iodine in paper. So like most paper, you can buy paper that doesn't have that, by the way. You can just buy. So if you want to do it the cheap and easy way to counterfeit paper, just use 100% cotton. You can buy 100% cotton paper at an Office Depot. Just don't cheap out on, buying crap paper, and it won't have it won't streak out. So at least the cotton paper will have a close feel to money. It won't be the exact same, and you won't have the like blue and yellow flakes, but it'll be closer than just crap paper. So you got that going for you.
But isn't there like you gotta like have some gamesmanship, right? Because 100s have too many protective measures in them.
Yeah.
So isn't it easier to like counterfeit like 20s or 50s?
Well, I mean, the easiest one would be like counterfeit like 1s and 2s, because they don't have the stripes in them. Because they don't have the paper stripe in them, so you can counterfeit like 1s.
Maybe 2s. Like, I mean, because like it seems like the cost per unit is going to be higher than $1. With inflation, like
and then another challenge is getting a printer to actually print it, because almost all the printers won't let you print money, because they're all like set up to prevent you from printing it. So it'd be a bit challenging.
I'm sure you could force it. I'm sure there's a way to force
There's probably a way to force it. Yeah, there's probably a way to force it. Yeah. It's hard to scan the money in because they got the URL star constellation, so it's hard to. But you can, you might have to, so there's the micro printing, which you can't reproduce on a printer. You can't get the paper right because you can't get the blue and white specs. You can't get the stripe in there. You can't get the holographic features of the ink, so you can't get the color shifting ink. You're going to have some problems. So it'll only be very superficial, and the Secret Service, if you actually do this, will have words.
Yeah, and that is, and then like I saw Larry Romano's comment, is this legal advice? I'm like, yeah, this is not legal advice, but legal advice is...
The legal advice would be don't do the counterfeiting.
The Secret Service will be in your anus.
Yeah, the Secret Service, like, the legal advice would be do not do counterfeiting. I am definitely not encouraging you to do counterfeiting. I'm not suggesting you should do counterfeiting. I don't think counterfeiting is good. It's very illegal and it'll put you in jail. I am saying, however, if you wanted to go about counterfeiting, here's steps you would do it, which is perfectly legal, because merely giving instructions, right, is First Amendment protected speech. Go America. Yeah, and before the FBI knocks on my door, and if they knock on my door, what's my response? I don't want to talk about my day, because I watched the Pop Brothers at Law. Boom.
They reached out to me. They're like, can we put you on our list of attorneys to reach out to? I'm like, no.
Really?
Like, yeah, they reached out to me. They're like, because I was on TikTok and I was pretty big at one point, and they're like, we want to have a list of contacts in each state. Can we have people reach out to you as a Florida attorney? I'm like, no, I don't take fucking clients. Get the fuck out of here. Like, who are you? No, get out of here, Pop Brothers. I collaborate with them.
Oh no, I definitely do a collab with those guys.
But I won't be on their like distribution list. Like, no, get out of here.
Maybe they need some pod associates, man. We could be pod associates.
Pot bros?
Yeah, pot bros, yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Pot and other drugs. Especially, we could move to Oregon, where I believe all the drugs are legal now, and we could become meth brothers at law, which apparently is a thing.
Yeah. I mean, Oregon, it's like de facto everything is illegal.
I think it's de jure. Didn't they change the law like last year?
Is it?
It might be.
I think they decriminalized a lot, but I mean, technically, okay, look, in the United States, no matter what, they haven't changed the fucking schedules.
Yes, this is true. So as a matter of federal law, this is a good point of federalism. Would you like to teach our friends about the finer points of federalism when it comes to the Controlled Substances Act?
No, I just federal government greater than state government. Done. That's all I give a shit about to explain, Kurt. I'm like very TLDR version. You understand? This is my corporate counsel side. I'm like, don't fucking do that. It's retarded. Like no. Just the answer is no. They're like, can we do this? No. That's my answer. I don't want to explain things. I just tell them no, Kurt. I was like, no, bad dog, bad corporation. Don't do this.
But I like the explaining part.
You do. You're very good at it. And I'm like, just no, stop. I'm not going to explain why. Don't do it. It's a bad idea. You're stupid. Don't do it. And they do it anyways. The thing is, they do it anyways. But I'm like, let me go on the record as telling you this is a bad fucking idea. And they do it anyways. That's the problem. That's what whatever. I don't care. I try.
Yeah, you pay for my advice and then ignore me. But it's like, yeah.
Yes. I told them a year ago, I told them no vax mandates. And they're like, yep, sure, yep, And they went and did it. And I'm like, all right, bros. All right, have fun with that. Have fun with that. You lost a lot of your employees.
You don't be stupid. It's like, there's so many legal ways to do business. It's like, just don't do the illegal ways and you'll be great. It's like, you don't have to do illegal ways of business. And I love it when companies go out of their way to be legal. But probably my favorite story all time along these lines was the Coca-Cola Pepsi incident. Are you familiar with that?
Which one? I mean,
there was a guy who was trying to steal a formula and sell it to the other company.
Oh, the secret formula that Coke makes a fucking huge deal about, and they're fucking.
Well, it wasn't the Coca-Cola, but it was some sort of what I believe, as memory serves. So this was an insider at Coca-Cola, who Coca-Cola was apparently developing some sort of new product, as Coca-Cola does. They develop lots of products all the time, and not all of them ultimately go on sale, right? Because most of them don't, because most of them fail. So someone internal in Coca-Cola had access to the formula, the branding, the product. They had the product made up in limited quantity as part of, the research and development of the product, as one would do, and all the rest of it. And so this guy approached Pepsi and said, basically, I'm just willing to, I'm willing to give you all these things. I can give you the formulas, the documents, all the trade dress, I can get you samples of the thing, all the rest of it, right? And Pepsi just called the FBI. And so they set him up and did a controlled buy. And, Pepsi, went forward with a statement, be like, we have fierce competition with Coca-Cola, but we engage in competition legally, and this was not legal. And I'm like, good for you guys. That corporate espionage is illegal. It's very illegal. And if you get caught doing that, you're going to have all kinds of problems. And it was a bit of a heartwarming story, a time when Pepsi and Coca-Cola cooperated. So it was nice.
Oh, that's a rare moment of levity, in the corporate world. There's like so much shit that goes down, and it just never is seen. And by the way, they're so incestuous too. Like the Coke employees end up working for Pepsi, the Pepsi employees end up working for Coke. I mean, that shit happens all the time.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily see that part as bad. I mean, if I am experienced in a trade, if I have a skill set, it's if I'm skillful at Coca-Cola and whatever I'm doing, obviously I'm attractive to people doing the same marketing. So it makes total logical sense, and I'm not a slave. I should be allowed to move to a different company.
Wait, you're not a slave, Kurt? Come on.
I'm not. No. If I work for Coca-Cola, I have in fact the right to quit and go work for any other damn company I please.
Do you believe that any NDA is enforceable then? Because I mean, NDAs, to me, NDAs are equivalent to
slavery. No, NDAs I don't have a problem with. Non-compete agreements we can get into, but NDAs are totally enforceable.
Sorry. I'm so tired. I meant non-compete agreements.
Oh yeah. So non-compete agreements, I question in part the idea that a company can lock up a different employee for some period of time. I know the law is a little bit as it's developed in California, where it has to be kind of more reasonable in sort of its time and scope function, but still where it's like this year or 2 years thing, I'm like, I mean, I have some issues with the non-compete agreements. Unless, of course, you're paying me, unless you're going to pay me my full salary for that time. If I'm getting paid for it, then
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So if we're gonna hire you for $100,000 a year, and we're gonna have a non-compete agreement, but as part of that non-compete agreement, we're going to continue to pay you.
Right.
Then all right, that's fine. So you're paying me to do nothing. Then that's fine. But otherwise, I don't disagree with them completely in principle, but I do think that they're overextended. How's that for an answer?
Yeah, but which is where I go. Like, I agree with them almost always, except for in very rare exceptions.
Right.
Like, if it was something that is super top secret and you are directly working on it, then yes. But like, if you're working on a new jet, and you go from like Boeing to Airbus, it's like, yeah, you should probably have to shut up about that. But if you're just like, even if you're working for Boeing and you were going to Airbus, if you're like the IT guy, or the janitor, like, you should not have to have a non-compete where you can't go to work for Airbus. Like, that's like ridiculous. But they're having everybody at corporations sign these non-competes, and to me, they're not enforceable.
And and what's interesting is within the legal practice specifically, non-competes are unethical. There's a provision in the ethics code.
That's what I like about that.
Yeah.
They can throw that out there, but we're like, yo, Laffy Taffy, fuck you. We don't have to obey a non-compete.
Yeah, no. It's inside the rule of ethics. A lawyer cannot agree as part of to restrict his trade. So yeah, I can't sign I can't sign a non-compete. Like, I don't also incidentally,
even if they make you sign it,
it's totally unenforceable. It's totally unenforceable. Yeah. And also incidentally, they can't really make me sign an NDA because an NDA can potentially conflict with other provisions of attorney's ethics. Like, they don't need an NDA because attorney-client privilege obviously covers things. But to the extent an NDA would conflict with attorney-client, to the extent I might be required to disclose, for example, right, that NDA. So NDAs also are kind of unethical for lawyers as well, at least in my opinion.
But if you sign one, are you in trouble with the bar, ethically?
I might be, and I also might be in trouble ethically for signing the non-compete, to be quite honest, the way I read the ethics rules.
I agree with that.
Yeah, so if I sign a non-compete, if I sign an NDA, I might be in trouble with the bar for my license. Yeah, so I think not only are they not enforceable, it's like, for me, I can't even sign them. And so like, if you come to me as a lawyer and I'm like, I want you to sign an NDA, I'm like, I can't. It's like, well, how am I protected? You're protected by attorney-client privilege. It's all privileged information. It's protected by, you don't need an NDA, nor can I sign an NDA. So these are interesting little quirks of law. Yeah. So it's like, if I can't sign an NDA and if I can't sign a non-compete, then I'm not sure like why anyone else would need to. So,
Yeah. If you can't do it, then why can't everybody?
Yeah. I never had it happen once. The way this rule, by the way, the reason this rule was developed was because there were situations where really, really good attorneys would be in like an auto settlement case or whatever. We'll just make it simple. So it's like it's State Farm. It's not State Farm. I'm just picking their name out of the air. So let's say that I'm a really, really good auto insurance guy, lawyer, and I'm just routinely just crushing all the auto insurance companies. And so I'm representing someone who's suing State Farm, and I keep coming up in their radar. And so one of the things State Farm might want to try to do is like, we'll agree to settle with your client, but as part of the settlement, you, the attorney, have to agree not to represent anyone suing us before. It's like, I can't do that. That's unethical. It's in the code of ethics. So it's like, I can't I can't restrict my trade like that. So
Right.
So yeah.
I like that though. I mean, I like our little special immunities. That's
yeah, it's
part,
nice.
You know?
The ethics codes are nice. You know, you know what I should do as a series. I just had a great idea for a series. I should just do every provision in the rules of ethics and just do a video on it, like rules of ethics. Just do the model rules of ethics, one rule at a time, and just make a series of videos. That's a series of videos.
You should do one rule at a time, and then like how to get around the rule, or is that my like alternative channel on how to break the law? Because all of the ethics rules that we have, let's be real, all the ethics rules are subverted by lawyers. Like they're all subverted, gone around. You know, even for example, the non-profit sharing with no profit sharing with non-lawyers, like that is subverted all of the time by lawyers.
Why don't you talk a little bit more about that issue?
Well, I mean, I don't want to go too deeply into it, but I mean, essentially that one essentially is there's a general rule in most ethics rules in most states where essentially lawyers and non-lawyers can't share profits from the same business. So if I have a business and let's say it's just like Andrew Enterprises, right? And I'm a lawyer as part of that, I can't share any profits from that business with a business partner. So I couldn't, as a normal business structure, say, hey, come in here as an equity partner in my business. Like,
I think I might be wrong, but I think that's only true if the business is legal services. If the nature of your business is not legal services, I don't think the prohibition applies.
Yes, but if any part of it is legal services, then yes, you're right. I mean, yes, if any part of it is legal services.
Okay.
So if I'm offering like, you know, let's say I'm offering form documents like a legal Zoom, but also you get a consultation with a lawyer if you want that ability to consult with a lawyer because that little bit is there. The non-lawyer couldn't be there. So I couldn't say, hey, come in, you know, notary, you know, who could collaborate with me on this and, you know, do this document service with me. You can't come in and buy a 40% stake in this because this is going to benefit you. No, you can't at all. You've got to.
You might be right. I didn't think the rule is that strict, but it's been a long time since I've read the rule.
It's too strict. I mean, that's one of the ones that I think.
And so that's one of the reasons they get around it all the time because it's so strict. Like I can just tell you flat out, like it's illegal. It's illegal for me to open up a law firm and have as a partner a non-lawyer. That I can definitely not do.
Right. Well, you could have a contract. Here's the thing, though. You can have a contract. That entity can have a contract with another entity and say, hey, when you do this contractually, we will do this because they can't restrict your ability to contract. It's like a backwards profit sharing.
Well, that's what lawyers are for, is like figuring out how to not get around the law, but how to use the law to our maximum advantage of our clients, even when that's ourselves.
That's like when people ask me, it's like, wait, Andrew, isn't that tax evasion? I'm like, no. I support tax minimalization. That is totally legal. Tax evasion is illegal. Tax minimalization is completely legal and in fact incentivized by our tax.
Tax avoidance is not the same thing as tax evasion.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. So if I take legal steps to minimize my taxes, that's perfectly legal. This could include, for example, moving assets into things that tax less or different kind of legal instruments. And incidentally, this is one of the interesting aspects with the idea of raising tax rates because there was a time in the United States when the top marginal tax rate was it 90% or was it 89% or it was something like that, right? Top marginal rate. And so I could explain how marginal rates of taxes work, I suppose, but basically as you get more and more money, the additional money you earn gets taxed more. So it's not an 89% tax on all of it. It's an 89% tax on the money that's earned over a certain threshold. But anyways, no one ever paid it because everyone worked to find ways to get around it. It's like, well, it's 89% of regular income. Well, how do I avoid that? Let me get paid in, stock. Let me get paid in some other instrument. Let me buy bonds. Let me do something to avoid the tax.
That's the whole debate is like with capital gains, for example. It's like, well, why are you punishing someone for saving, investing, being clever, right? Why are we disincentivizing that? Because capital gains incentivize you to pretty much buy and hold, whether it's real estate, whether it's equities, whatever, for a long period of time. And don't we want to be incentivized in that? Well, there's a debate there.
Okay.
But also, frankly, Uncivil. I mean, I'm of the opinion that we should have either a flat tax or income taxes that are so simple they can be put on a postcard and done by anybody. I think this whole thing is a racket by the tax prep companies.
I'm interested in the possibility of a VAT in replacement for income tax.
I am all for a VAT, which is a flat tax. The VAT is a flat tax.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah. I think some of these other instruments are interesting. And also I've expressed interest in a UBI as a complete replacement for all current government welfare and assistance programs. I think might be interesting on trying to play that out.
I'm okay with that, actually. I've said that. Like, I'm okay with UBI if you get rid of all other things. Like, everything is wiped. Right? It is just UBI.
Right.
And guess what? Everybody gets it. You know,
right? It's
like everybody gets your UBI, but all of the programs, all of the welfare programs are wiped.
Yeah, this is exactly what I'm saying, right? It's a trade.
All of them,
right? So
all of them.
I paid for it in so much as the current programs are paid for, because I'm doing a 1-for-1 trade. So I'm just spending money differently. So I don't have to figure out where the money's coming from, or to the extent I do, I've already figured out / ignored that problem. But I also achieve administrative benefits because I don't have to have 3 bajillion agencies with 3 bajillion programs trying to determine all this. I can just cut people a check. It's like, you're alive, you get a check.
Spend it how you want to spend it. You want to spend it on drugs? That's good. That's your choice.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's a libertarian freedom right there. I mean, that's like the paradise, right? You know, you're able to spend it on whatever you want. And if they want to spend it on drugs, go right ahead.
So I'm not necessarily saying that if it came up to me as theoretical congressman or theoretical president that I'd sign it, but I'm saying that I'm interested in it because I think it presents some interesting possibilities that would be perhaps beneficial. So I think it might be true that the Republicans might be more willing to do this 1-for-1 trade, UBI for all the welfare, than the Democrats. You might be more able to get a Republican vote than a Democrat vote for that proposition.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. Especially since they're not going to be able. They're willing to do UBI in addition to welfare.
Yeah, see, that's where things break down. That's where it breaks down. In addition to is where it breaks down.
Yeah.
Now, on a completely separate subject, you have to explain to me. I have to hold you to moral account, Andrew. I have to hold you to moral account. Yes, I have to hold you to moral account. Why you were enabling and encouraging our good friend Joe Neerman on his stream.
Excuse me, Uncivil Law. Much like Joe Neerman, you both end up texting me at inopportune times to get on the stream. But however, I am always an hombre and willing to get on. I was, by the way, the night before, just like right now, when I've come out from a night of drinking, I've been drinking all night, day here. It is literally 1:14 a.m. in Seoul.
Excellent.
I'm actually gonna get a clock to put back here.
Actually, that's not the worst idea.
No, because people forget what time it is. I'm like, no, it's because I don't have a window that you can see right now. It's nighttime. But, you know, I was all day drinking before that. I woke up in the morning, rolled out of bed, and took shots with Joe Neerman on an empty stomach. I was supposed to go on Rekida's stream. Rekida literally private messaged me to call me a bigot and a racist by not going on his stream, because afterwards I'm just literally passed out drunk, and instead of going on Rekida's stream. That is how much I was just out of it after that stream.
You are truly a bro, and your broness is I feel the love. I feel the love from over here.
It was Adam. Adam is the Adam mindset. Adam Esquire is the hoodie version.
Mm-hmm.
When I
yes, I heard of this brief debate. Yeah, Adam. Yes, okay,
Adam.
Sure.
Yeah.
As long as we can transition sexes, sure. Let's just manifest different people. That's fine.
Why not? Why not? I mean, Leah Thomas just won, though. She's the best women's swimmer. Just won again. So,
I am so mad about that, and so angry about for those other women.
No, Kurt. It's amazing. It is amazing because it's going to generate endless content. It's going to generate endless content, because if Leah had been second or third or fourth, it would have been like, oh look, women can beat men. Ha ha ha. But the fact that he was still first.
My understanding is that in the 400, which is what Leah did, in the men's 400, 53 men competed. My understanding is the 53rd man, the very last of them, was 10 seconds faster than Leah.
However, Leah was not competing against men. Leah was competing against women.
And second place was only a second and a half behind. So second place did really good.
People were like, I expected him to do better for all this complaining, which was like, okay, you know, I mean, the point is you still lost. Like at the end of the day, you're still lost. So
I'm so mad about the whole thing. And when you see the image of Jackass standing up there with his frame and the girls, and you're like, something is wrong here. And the fact that I believe it's true, the girls have been pressured not to complain, that they've been told not to complain. That'll be bad for them, bad for the brand if they say the wrong things. I believe they've been silenced.
One of the moms spoke up against it.
Yeah, I saw that, and I believe it. But I believe it.
I know, and I 100% believe it. And the thing is, I mean, look, it takes us your vision. You look at Leah, and she looked like a fucking kaiju, like Neon Genesis Evangelion up there, fucking arms lanking on the side. Like, it was ridiculous. It was like literally a joke. It was a fucking joke. And guess what? Yeah, she may not have been the most fit, and she may not have been the greatest, but those natural advantages led to a victory. Even being fucking mediocre as hell, they still are going to lead to a victory. So,
and then I sort of loathe the people who say, well, the people who are complaining about this is just a cover for their transphobia. I'm like, look, dipshit.
Yes. Well, I mean, we're all bigots here.
I don't know. I don't know what a woman is, and neither do you. I feel like this should be a requirement of every debate. I don't think you should be allowed to call me transphobic unless you can define what a woman is without using the term itself in the sentence. Can you define it? What is a woman? What is not a woman? What are the qualities of womanhood? What are the qualities that are necessary to womanhood that you have to have, or what qualities, if you have, will necessarily exclude you? Please define it in a way that makes sense, and they can't do it because it would just eat their own argument to death, no matter what they do.
That's why they stick to testosterone levels, which is the performance enhancing part.
If they go to testosterone levels, there's a lot of
which is subjective.
But one of the problems with testosterone levels is, as I'm sure you know, and it has been documented, testosterone levels among men have been dropping.
Yeah, that's why people should get their T levels checked, and if you need to, get on TRT. But I mean,
absolutely.
Like, the point is that though it is definitely performance enhancing. If you take a guy whose T levels are in the 300s versus a guy whose T levels are in the thousands, they're going to be able to perform differently on a wide array of sports, whether it's sprinting, lifting, swimming.
If your T level is in the thousands, you're doing something wrong. That's really high.
No, I mean like 1,000. I mean like 1,000 versus 300. Like that's going to be a massive, or 200 or whatever. Like now they dropped the bar. By the way, your grandpa probably has a T level that's like 10x yours or 5x yours. That's how bad it's been. Like, it's precipitous drop off. It's like very, very low. You know, whatever you want to say, turning the frogs gay, birth control in the water, whatever, soy, whatever you want to blame it on. Something's happening.
Something's happened, yeah.
Yeah, then you're gonna get Leah. So I mean,
and then I get accused of being transphobic, where I'm like, I don't even know what we're talking about.
Yeah,
because we can't have an intelligent discussion. It's like, I'll define woman. How about adult? How about adult woman, female? How about that? Adult female is a woman. Adult human female. That's a. How about that for a woman?
Female's down for debate.
You want a female? How about XX? How about that?
Well, how about intersex? What do they get? Do they have to choose one?
Well, I think it's 0.4% of the population, is intersex in terms of their genome.
Actually, 0.4, but also, by the way, Kurt, 0.4 is also, I mean, according to the latest data I've seen, 0.4 is also the amount of trans folks in the United States is 0.4.
Yeah.
So that's like equal to intersex.
Yeah. So a solution I've proposed to the people who are not XX or XY is just to say, if you have Y, you're male. If not, you're female. Right. Which necessarily covers every possible use case. I mean, either you have a Y chromosome or you don't. In addition to whatever other chromosomes you might have. So if you have a Y, you're male. If not, you're female. That covers 100% of the possible.
No ability to change.
That covers 100% of the use cases. How do you like that?
Takes away the ability to change. You can't change, according to Kurt.
No, I don't think so.
No swapping?
Not until they come up with a methodology to actually change the genome.
How about if you get a surgery?
No. Because I don't think it's dependent on any particular physical anatomy. Because a man could lose his anatomy, by going to war or something, or something tragic happening, right?
That's true.
So It can't be dependent on anatomy. It can't be dependent on the ability to reproduce. It can't be dependent on the having any particular organ or something, because those organs could get lost through, medical necessity or whatever.
There's prenatal effects, like there's prenatal injections of estrogen or testosterone, which impact the development of the kid, and they impact early child development. Like even pre-puberty, there's a separate development for male and female children. So if injecting my baby mama with testosterone will help my boy grow up to be big and strong, I'm all about it. I'm just saying, that's an option. Step 1, find willing baby mama to be injected. Step 2, inject testosterone directly into baby. Step 3, profit. You know what I mean? That's it, right?
Yeah.
Oh God, it's crazy. It's crazy. But it's going to be a lot of legal fodder, especially when you have systems.
Also, one more thing, since it's 1:30 in the morning, why are you wearing a jacket and a shirt?
Because that's what I do, and I'm consistent with my brand. Also, it's kind of chilly here, so this is actually good. I usually wear an undershirt, like a thermal undershirt. So, yeah.
All right. Well, since it's 1:30 in the morning, I think I'll let my guests go. But I've enjoyed our impromptu morning conversation.
I enjoyed it too, Kurt. Man,
if you want to do something later today, I would love to do some bar exam prep. So if you're available later today, let me know.
For sure in the morning. I mean,
yes, I know that would be like 8 hours or something, or 10 hours from now. But in 8 or 10 hours, it'll be evening my time. So let me know.
I will let you know. Good. It's good. And by the way, Kurt, I'm really glad you're back, man. How does it feel to be back?
It feels good. I still feel vulnerable, to be honest. Which I think is pretty typical for people who are victims of crimes. If their house is broken into or their car is broken into, to feel that like they're still vulnerable, particularly because I don't know how it happened. So it would be, they would be the equivalent of, there are no signs of forced entry or something. It's like, but I thought I took the measures. My alarm system was on, but everything was bypassed, and I'm not sure how it happened or what steps I can take necessarily to prevent it. So I'm still feeling a little bit vulnerable and a little bit scared, because I did the password manager thing. I did the 2-factor authentication thing. I've seen videos that other people have produced of how this scam can occur by, smaller creators being targeted for promotion opportunities. And God knows I've gotten some of those spam messages to be sure.
Yeah.
And on some level, I almost wish I could say, oh, I remember downloading that thing. I remember installing that software. I remember making that mistake. I wish some way I could, and I just don't. So I feel a little skittish and a little bit vulnerable. And, but I just, I guess I'll sign out of YouTube more often, because I never signed out before, right? Just keep myself signed in. So I'll sign out of YouTube when I'm not using it, sign back in to help deal with session cookie issues, and, go from there.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you can do. I mean, that's definitely something, talking about with other creators. It's like, especially, for those of us that are doing this often, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. And we work really hard to get those subscribers. So I'm glad you got it back. I'm glad they got it fixed. And I'm glad that everybody, retweeting it was effective. And
yeah, thank God. Thank God for that. And thank God for the support of LawTube. And thank God for the support of the people. It's like I owe all of you a cookie.
Yeah, well, not a cookie that you save on your computer, but like a real tasty cookie.
Yeah.
But all right, guys, no, this is fun, man. Anytime, and let's do some bar questions, some bar review. That's fun. You can have some drinks because it'll be evening for you. I will have a coffee.
Excellent.
I think that's a fair trade.
All right. Until later, my friends. I hope all is well. Cheers and goodbye.
Ciao.